when your coping mechanisms are no longer helping you. They no longer serve the purpose they used to.
The Maxine Unapologetically Authentic.
Welcome back to the Maxine Unapologetically Authentic podcast. And today's topic is, what do you do when you have no fight left in you? Stay tuned. What do you do when you have no fight left in you? Every day seems like a challenge. You wake up, you go to work, you try and perform your routines, your duties. You function out of habit. You know so well how to buy groceries, how to take care of your household. But what happens when your coping mechanisms are no longer helping you? They no longer serve the purpose they used to. It seems like your life is slowly withering away, and you seem to just be the actor and someone else is directing the movie. It steals your joy, it steals your hobbies, it steals your present time that you share and you value so much with the people around you. But you just feel as if you've outlived that version of you that keeps on surviving, that keeps on showing up and saying, I have to, because I got to keep the roof over my head. I have to, because I have to take care of my children. I have to, because this job pays my bills. It gives me the life that I've always dreamed of. I have to, because if I don't, nobody else is going to do it for me. How long do you keep saying, I have to? Because that's when you live in survival mode. You don't do things because you want to, because it makes you feel alive, because it makes you feel present. You do it out of, it's a necessity. It's because I must. It's because it's part of the routine that I've built over the years. But when do you stop and look at, where are you at? Sometimes you're functioning as if you're on autopilot, like a plane that's gliding through the skies. The pilot doesn't have to do anything because he's steady. There's no storms. There's no lightning. There's nothing. No turbulence. It's just functioning. How many times do you find yourself asking yourself, who am I? Where am I? What do I enjoy? And you look back at your life, and all that keeps rehearsing is this version that keeps you steady, or you think, or it keeps you functioning. Where do you stop and ask yourself, is this the life I want to live? Is this the path that I've chosen for me? Does it still make sense? Is everything the way it used to be? Do I like it that way? When it looks like you're constantly tired, mentally and physically, you're just depleted. And you look around you and you tell yourself, this is the life I've built for me and I'm proud of it. But I feel empty on the inside. I feel as though I've achieved, but it doesn't fit the version that I'm becoming. You look at where you live and you ask yourself, do I still like it here? Or you look at the job that you're in and you ask yourself, why am I doing this? Do I like what I'm doing? Am I serving a purpose? Who is this benefiting? Am I just doing it to get paid? It feels like you've lost your sense of self. You don't know what real true feelings feel like anymore. You cry on the inside. Have you ever felt your soul cry? But you're not crying. You have no emotion. You just feel numb to a point where you have to ask yourself, am I still alive? You walk through your days hoping that someone is going to see and help you. Someone is going to say, let me take the load off your shoulders. Let me help you carry this. Or come, I help and give you a solution. But you don't. It never comes. The help that you're seeking, the lift that you want, never comes. And as you reflect back on your life and you ask yourself, where am I heading? What does it look like? Because I feel like I'm an actor in my own life. Someone else is directing it, but I'm just surviving. Now, when you come to this point in life, you have to find a place where you start to take charge. It can seem heavy. It can seem really like I just don't want to. I have given up on this life because I don't know what tomorrow looks like. I don't know what I want it to be. I don't know what I want to feel. It happens when you come at a crossroad and you don't know which path you want to take. Is it left? Is it right? Is it forward? Because you know that you can't go back. But you keep going through this cycle because it seems too difficult, too impossible to change the route that you really want to try, because it seems like it's just not worth it. Now, when you get to this point in your life, let me tell you, it's not easy, but it's worth venturing into. When I wrote the book of wisdom, it was unraveling because inside I was on autopilot. I didn't know what I wanted next in my career. I didn't know what my life should look like. I didn't know if I wanted to eat spinach or if I want to eat chicken. And those sound like trivial things. But it gets to that point where you can't even taste the food that you're eating. You don't even know what you like or what you prefer anymore. You hear your kids as they chat, as they tell you about their day, but you're just not there. You don't know what real laughter sounds and feels like when it comes out of your belly any longer, because you're so far gone from who you used to be, but you don't know who you are becoming. That transition can be grueling because no one can navigate that path for you. And a number of times I've went down this road, but I always ended up taking the same action, doing the same thing. And all it did was take away pieces of myself. How many of you find yourself there? You go to work, you do the same things, you use the same roads, but you're just hoping that something would liberate you, something would free you, and it just never comes. Now, when I walked down this journey, I had to take a plunge. I had to seriously take a look at my life and ask myself, are you happy with where you are? Do you like who you are? Or do you want to become someone else? What does she look like? What does she sound like? How does she show up for herself? How does she show up for others? Those seem like quite simple questions, but they can be quite difficult to answer when you're being honest with yourself. And when you start looking at the people around you, they start seeming like they're strangers, foreign. You don't know who they are because that version that you knew and that they knew no longer exists. It slowly fades away. And the longer you push towards the old version of you, the more it seems like the life is being sucked out of your soul. Let me tell you something. There is always another chance. You do get another chance to do things differently. You do get another chance to change the version of you. You do get another chance to become the woman you intended to be by allowing yourself to grieve the past version. Now that might sound strange. Who am I grieving? You're grieving the old version that maybe used to people please, shut down their emotions to feel safe, or not to stir any conflict. Stay in the job because it pays me well. It keeps me secure. It keeps my family fed. It keeps me living for something. When you start looking at that and you think, this is no longer serving the purpose of who I'm becoming, but you don't know who that person is yet. It's when you start doing introspection. You start asking yourself those real honest questions. Where do I see myself? How do I fit into my own life? Whether it comes in a form of writing, journaling, or whether it comes in a form of painting if you're creative, or whether it comes in a form of just sitting and visualizing it. Truth be told, many of us struggle to do this because we tell ourselves, I'm too old. I don't want to change my job. I don't want to start afresh, meet someone new. My kids are grown already. They're going to leave me soon. So why should I even try? You try because life is not meant to be survived. It's meant to be lived by you, through you. You were all born for a purpose. But somewhere along the line, we seem to have lost ourselves because we keep giving so much of ourselves away to others because we feel it's the right thing to do. But somewhere you have to stop. And I love this saying that goes, you have to stop and smell the roses. Now, in context, you might just think, stop and smell the roses, I don't have time. But what it means is you stop where you are. You look around you. You use all your senses. You smell, you can feel, you can see, you can hear, you can touch. Be present. That's what it means to stop and smell the roses. When you start being present, you start to notice the beauty of yourself just by existing on the earth, in this world. Before you start looking around, you see the beauty of how far you've come, how many challenges you've overcome, how many milestones you've achieved in your life, regardless of what your journey looked like before. You look at it, and when you start being present, you realize you're not the same person that you were 10 years, 5 years, 20 years ago. You've changed so much, but you haven't stopped and realized it. You haven't stopped and thanked yourself for overcoming, for still surviving, for still standing. Now, when you start accepting where you are, it doesn't always come in a good feeling form. It comes in an actual realization. And you tell yourself, I'm no longer who I used to be, but I can change who I want to become. And change starts when you accept where you are, when you start accepting what your past was, and you start changing slowly. It can be in the form of how you show up for yourself. And as a lady, we ladies love to do it. We start with, let me change my look. If I change my hair, we feel different, we feel confident, we feel beautiful, and we have a sense of, I belong. Then we start changing how we interact with our friends, our family. Maybe you're a person that never visits, never calls, never messages. You start reaching out first to see that there are people around that love and support and care for me, and I'm showing up for them as well. And then you start looking at Your job, the career path you chose 20 years ago, might not be the same one that is fulfilling, that keeps you creative, that keeps you excited. You start looking at it and you think, is it time for a transition? Is it time for a complete change? Or is it time just to show up differently? What does it look like for you? And even maybe in your marriage, your relationship with a partner, you ask yourself, am I just coasting along? Or am I making things work? Is this still what I want for me? And if you're in a marriage, ask yourself, am I the partner that I aim to be? Or do I want to change to become more present, more loving, more supportive? Or do I lack those things in my relationship? Do I want more? What do I deserve? Am I being seen? Am I being heard? Am I being supported? Those are vital to who you're becoming because they could either make or break you, keep you stagnant, or you can become the woman you've always desired to be. And even when you look at your kids, you ask yourself, everyone always says, time has gone by so fast. Look how big you are. And when we look at our kids, we ask ourselves, how many times did I miss how you were growing? Was I present? Or was I just too busy surviving that I couldn't even be who you needed me to be as a mom? It's not too late. You can still change. Improve your communication with your kids. Sit down and be present. Take them out. Even if you're just window shopping or going out for an ice cream, something I love doing with my kid. But being present. It is so liberating when you give yourself the chance to live the life that was given to you. You all have a purpose. No matter if you think, I'm just here, there is no meaning. There is meaning in your life. There is meaning to what you're supposed to do. There is meaning to you waking up each day, showing up for you. Even if it means sometimes our hair is messy. Sometimes we feel like we're running around like a headless chicken because we've got so many things, so many tasks, so many to-do lists that we want to get through that we forget to live. And sometimes it appears as if have you ever felt that feeling where you're staying through a window and you're looking at people functioning inside a house? They're sitting, the mom's doing the dishes, the kids are doing homework, or they're just watching TV, and you yearn and you long to have that. It's called peace and love. We all yearn to have a place where our thoughts are not racing, our hearts are not pulsating, where we are just in a relaxed state, enjoying where we are, even if you're not doing anything, but just to sit and say, thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for what should have broken you, built you, made you stronger. You have an immense strength within you that you haven't tapped into to change who you are becoming. Because when you take an account of your life and you look at that inventory list, some things are not meant to stay. Some things are meant to be said goodbye to. It's time to shut the door on some points of your life. And it's time to start living the life that you design for yourself. You are the author and finisher of your life. Your story is not over yet. You still need to accomplish a few more things, big, small, but it has to be done by you. It can only be done by you. So while you're navigating this phase you might be in your life, transformation shows up when you have nothing left to give, when you have no fight left in you, but you do know that you can't love the past version because she's done serving you. So choose who you want to become. What is it on the inside that you desire in your life that hasn't been fulfilled? Ask yourself that. You can overcome this chapter. It's not meant for you to stay there. You're not meant to live there. There is more to your life. So if you felt that disturbing feeling on the inside that you just can't shake, start asking yourself those questions. Who am I becoming? And your purpose will unfold through that process. Thank you for watching. I am Maxine C Smith on The Maxine, Unapologetically Authentic.
The Maxine Unapologetically Authentic.